right now on 5 on your side at 10.
You are looking live at the airport where it is quiet now, but that will all change by morning. That is why we begin tonight and weather impact alert. Widespread rain is rolling in. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with your weather impact forecast.
You know, it's going to be the remnants of Beryl that we deal with heading into early tomorrow. Right now, that storm centered down near Texarkana. Winds are down to 35 miles per hour, but a tremendous amount of moisture is being tossed our way. And the track of Beryl from the Hurricane Center takes it just to the south and east of St. Louis, which means we're on the side of heavy rainfall. Severe weather is likely to stay farther to the south. Right now, your severe weather threat is down across portions of Louisiana into southern portions of Arkansas. That'll head towards southern portions of Missouri and southern portions of Illinois tomorrow, while the heavier rain slides towards St. Louis. The entire day tomorrow is wet. Heavy tropical rain, very efficient rainfall producing thunderstorms, 2 to 4 inches of rain. That will cause additional flooding concerns, so clear those gutters, clear the storm drains. This is what this afternoon storms look like down in Arnold as they came in, producing heavy rain and gusty winds. And this is about the last we've heard from the camera down in Arnold after those gusty winds and rain blew in right here. There it is with a heavy rain, and then we lost our signal from the camera. As much as 2 to 3 inches of rainfall down to the south of St. Louis and southwest of St. Louis. Still have a flash flood warning down to northeastern portions of Phelps County, although we haven't had any flooding reports there. This is all very light rain right now. It won't pick up really until after 3 a.m., but tomorrow, heavy rain's on the way.
And that heavy rain caused problems in unincorporated Jefferson County. Trees down, schools flooded, and tonight, kids were trapped inside a daycare in House Springs due to flash flooding.
Annie Krall has been there since it all started. What is the situation now, Annie?
Well, I'm standing on Indian Springs Road in House Springs, and right now, as you can see behind me, there is a tree just completely down across the road, roots up and the power lines down with it. I spoke to a mother just a few hours ago who had her 3 children trapped inside that daycare as first responders tried to quickly get to them because of the flash flooding. Trying to wait out the rain at work in House Springs, mother Ashley Weibly was caught in traffic backed up for at least half a mile on Main Street around 5:15 on Monday.
I pull up and there is just water everywhere, and my first instinct is like, oh my gosh, my babies are in there. There's no way to get in. Water's going way too fast.
All 3 of her children were at Apple of His Eye Daycare on Church Road. First responders say flash flooding caused Bear Creek to rise drastically.
They were talking about getting search and rescue, so then my anxiety gets a little bit higher.
Ashley told us there were about 3 or 4 other kids along with 3 adults trapped. Blocks away on Indian Springs Road, a mobile home park had to have many of its residents evacuated because of the flooding. Warren Robinson, the Jefferson County Director of Emergency Management, told us. A massive tree down across the road blocked traffic. Valley Middle School also got hit hard by the flash flooding right outside its doors. Thankfully, it was quiet with school being out, but Ashley was relieved things weren't worse.
Immediately started praying, got a hold of the daycare provider. She's also the pastor there, and started talking to her, and she's like, all the kids are good, everything's good. And she just told me that they're eating hot dogs right now and we're about to go get them, so. As House Springs continues to deal with this kind of damage, there are thousands of people without power right now, including the folks who are just off this street. It is completely dark out here, as well as a number of local businesses, gas stations, and even some fast food restaurants. Ameren tells us that they have 6,200 customers without service across Missouri right now. Reporting live in House Springs, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
An assistant fire chief was killed in the line of duty this morning in Columbia, Missouri, while responding to a water rescue. Matthew Tobin worked for the Boone County Fire Protection District. Tobin was part of a crew trying to rescue 2 people on the north side of Columbia when the boat capsized.
All 4 occupants of the boat were thrown out at that point. Chief Tobin never did resurface once he was thrown out. He did make one attempt to grab a tow line, but after that, he was not seen again.
Tobin was the Bureau Director of Training and was hired by the district on May 1st. He had previously worked in Union as a firefighter for 19 years and has been a member of Missouri Task Force 1 since 2012.
And you can get your forecast on your phone. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355 anytime.
A violent holiday weekend rocked downtown St. Louis with thousands of police calls on a mass shooting early Friday that injured 7 people. Tonight, city leaders, including the circuit attorney and police chief, held a town hall meeting to address downtown residents' concerns. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski was at that meeting. Laura.
Mike, St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy says they're already reviewing the incidents that unfolded this weekend. And like they do with any big event, they're going to have to adapt and change so that this doesn't happen again. Between July 4th and 7th, St. Louis police say they had more than 3,700 calls for service. 24 people were shot, 37 people were arrested downtown, and 19 juveniles were booked between the 4th and the 6th.
But holistically, we got to find out what's going on. Why are juveniles downtown? Why are young adults coming down? Nothing good happens after midnight, and we're going to continue to push people out of the parks.
Police Chief Robert Tracy says as far as juveniles go, they're going to take a look at the agreement they made with the Juvenile Detention Center to make sure kids aren't just being released to their parents, as that did happen with a couple of them this weekend.
Things did change. I'm going to do another review to make sure things haven't gone back to the way they are, and we're actually in conversation. We're having a meeting to make sure that we're doing everything we can.
James Page with the Downtown Neighborhood Association says what happened this weekend was disturbing.
The wanton use of illegal fireworks, the mass shootings that took place, those are disturbing to me and other residents of downtown St. Louis.
Page says he wants to see more collaboration between all city leaders. I talked with Mayor Tashara Jones, Chief of Staff Jared Boyd, who says everyone does have to work together.
Do you think the police dropped the ball here?
I don't think the police dropped the ball. I think the police can learn from the actions that occurred this weekend, and they've already made adjustments to some of their weekend tactics. And I think as a result, you saw less issues on Friday and Saturday. But I must reiterate that the police cannot do this work alone.
Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore told the crowd at the town hall meeting they're working well with SLMPD to hold people accountable and will continue to do so.
The officers who are on the job, who are out there every day working to serve the citizens of St. Louis, the one thing they've really appreciated is that they now know that their work will have an impact, that when they apply for warrants and bring cases to our office, they will be acted upon.
Alderwoman Kara Spencer says things downtown are feeling lawless.
We got a handle on it. Our first step really is to recognize we have a problem. We have, the Board of Aldermen has okayed recently a budget that includes the hiring of a couple thousand additional city employees. We have the budget for that. So we need to go out there and fill those positions to be able to do the job that our citizens expect that we can do.
A total of 39 firearms were seized citywide, and many of them were reported stolen. Reporting live downtown, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
Businesses are feeling the impact of the violence downtown, but many say they aren't going anywhere. Bullets were flying during 4th of July festivities. Windows were knocked out at several businesses, one of them U-Craft. The building now has boarded up windows. Longtime bar owner Kevin Lease with Jack Patrick's is also concerned and says something has to change.
We finally feel like we got past the pandemic, and then now we've got a whole new set of problems with the crime is just out of control. When these big stories happen and they make the news, somebody who's not from this area is like, maybe I'll skip that because it doesn't look very safe.
U-Craft says it has no plans to leave. It just signed a 10-year lease.
A man already facing felony gunfire charges in Illinois was arrested on a downtown rooftop overlooking the crowded 4th of July parade route. St. Louis police took Tron Sappington into custody and seized 2 illegal guns.
Tonight, political editor Mark Maxwell reveals he was already known to authorities, raising questions about how he still had access to those guns in the first place.
Thousands of people packed the streets of downtown St. Louis last Thursday to celebrate Independence Day. Overhead, on the roof of this parking garage at 604 Pine, Tron Sappington held 2 semi-automatic pistols in a bag with a bird's-eye view of the parade route. Police would not tell us how much ammunition he had when they took him into custody, but a law enforcement source tells 5 on Your Side that responding officers found him armed and overlooking a large crowd of people and appeared to be in a depressive state and possibly in a mental health crisis. He He was due in court to face felony charges the next day.
There is a cross-river crime problem. It's just the reality.
Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain had charged Sappington with 2 Class 4 felonies last month. Court records allege Sappington fired a gun into this crowded Alton intersection in January. Police conducted an investigation and issued a warrant for his arrest 2 months later in March. And last month, campus police at SIU Edwardsville pulled him over for expired tags. Under Illinois' new law that abolishes cash bail, prosecutors can ask a judge to detain someone who uses a firearm in the commission of a crime. Hain did not. Sappington had no FOID card. The conditions of his release said transporting a gun under indictment is a federal crime.
People violate the conditions of their release all the time.
So those stolen firearms are logged in that system.
Shannon Hamm is the assistant special agent in charge at the ATF. When St. Louis police found Sappington on that rooftop with guns and no concealed carry permit, they seized his guns and ran a background check. One came back stolen. The other matches the description of the gun fired in Alton 6 months ago.
One of the charging offenses for a person possessing a firearm is that it did cross state lines or affected interstate commerce. So it would be a federal statute under that point that we could investigate and charge federally.
And Sappington's defense attorney in Illinois said he was not aware his client had been arrested. He is no longer in custody tonight. We are told charges are pending in St. Louis. In Illinois, State's Attorney Hain says, quote, "We have filed a petition to revoke the defendant's pretrial release, asking that he be held pending the resolution of these cases."
A tree on the tracks forces an Amtrak train to derail. This happened just before 5 in Washington, Missouri. There were 124 people and 5 crew members on board at the time. We're told no one was injured. The train operates daily routes between Chicago and Kansas City via St. Louis. It was on its way from Kansas City when it derailed.
Making moves to protect your home from summer heat and storms.
They can be a little bit expensive to install, but save thousands in the long run.
Consumer Reports shares some of the best tips to keep your home safe year-round. President Biden doubling down on the 2024 presidential race, his message to those calling for him to bow out.
Our weather impact alert continues as tropical moisture from Beryl surges toward our area. We're tracking when the heaviest rain will move into St. Louis and the problems it's expected to bring.